Everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and once again, we're here with Chandra with Aran and Franklin, which is also on the board of TWIA until Saturday. Chandra, your term limit's up.
Yes.
You ran out the course of things.
Yes,
The end of the road's not that far off, is it?
No, it's not. So I've been trying for the last year or so to try to find somebody to fill my spot. And when I went to the public meeting for the commissioner last week, she actually said that they hadn't found anybody to fill my spot or my other counterpart, Georgia Neblet's spot, who were both coastal representatives. So we really need the coast represented. They really like to stagger people along the coast. Right. They're hoping to find somebody in this area for my spot and then somebody in kind of the Corpus, Rockport,
the southern
area for that spot. The other person we have is in Brownsville. So we have the full coast represented, but we're just looking for anybody really right now.
We need to get represented have nobody from either Galveston or Bolivar, somewhere from Surfside up through
Belmont, any of that area. Just really somebody along this stretch of coast that can really, be an advocate for us and speak up. I'm willing to tutor you. I'm willing to help you, understand the board material.
Kind of like a bribe almost. Just to
I'll be happy to help. It's really important. I mean, that's the key. It's really important because, if we don't get representation, the insurance industry will have all the votes. And they'll be able to make all the decisions without our input, and we've got to be represented. So it's just really, really important that we keep full representation on the TWIA board.
Okay. I'm going to check my sound here real to make sure I'm doing it the right way because I didn't see my bar. Can you see that audio panel?
Can I?
No. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Well, I know that it's been a benefit, especially here over the last 3 or 4 months with the TWIA saga going on. It's been a benefit. And, we're not going to stop following this. We may have to make some public information requests to get the information or something along that line. But, the deadline date for the TDI to turn in whether they want the rate increase or not is October 15th.
Correct.
And Monday, the 14th, is actually Columbus Day. So I'm hoping maybe next week she gives her ruling on it. And
when she makes her ruling, she has to, if she does not accept TWIA's rate, request, she has to provide a reason why.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that I believe, in my opinion, that she was trying to get input from the public and from the legislators and everything so that she could formulate that opinion based on the information that she was receiving. I mean, it's a very weighty decision to make. It affects a lot of people, a lot of industries. It's pretty significant. And I don't know if you've heard about the port closures yesterday.
Yeah. I've already had phone calls and people, and what I've told them is, during the pandemic, we had trouble getting ships unloaded. They stacked up over off California and they stacked up in the Gulf.
Right.
In fact, we could see a big difference just off Bolivar and that on the number of ships that were out there.
And it significantly disrupts our supply chain. And it doesn't just affect us locally; it affects the entire state. And I think that was the point. I mean, the point is that the whole United States, really. But Texas needs to understand that just because they don't live in this area, that they're not affected by what happens in this area.
Well,
and I think that's very important for us to remember going into this legislative session.
I was talking to the guy that takes care of the produce up the big store actually this morning. And I said, is this port closure going to affect us getting vegetables? He said, I know it will affect us getting bananas.
Right.
Because all our bananas are imported and brought in by ship. He said some of the other stuff here and there, but especially when you get into tools and camera equipment. I know during the pandemic, I had trouble getting certain things and cables.
Gosh, every nail that we put into the building comes from China or from,
and then also,
we don't manufacture most of that in the United States.
Boogie boards and in the tourist part of it. But that also goes back to the insurance part is, with higher insurance, people are already having a tough time that work the jobs at the big store in Stingery and Jose's and, different areas around here already have trouble because of the cost of houses down here. Then you tack on that, it hurts not only homeowners, but also homeowners that work in the tourism industry down here. And that's not just for us, that's Galveston or anywhere.
Well, and that's the thing. People don't realize that trickle down effect, so as a business owner, if my insurance premiums go up and everybody that I do business with, their insurance premiums go up. So everybody's rates go up. So we're all paying more for everything. I mean, if it costs Keith more down at the big store to have insurance, then he's got to raise his prices, so that affects food prices. It affects everything, David. Yeah. So having higher insurance prices, it's a domino effect. It doesn't just affect an isolated number of people. The very, very few people that are lucky enough to not have to have TWIA insurance that can be insured outside in the private market, even those premiums have gone up. So, I mean, it's not like anything's going down. I mean, it's all going up, even if it's private. So,
I know people are wondering, man, what are David and Chandra going to talk about after the TWIA saga is over? Well, I've been thinking about that, and Chandra and I have talked a little bit, and I'd really like to dive in to the particulars on the strong home inspection program and take each step of it from design to, if you're having a roof replaced, what it does, the siding.
Yes.
And we're going to cover that. And then also some coastal home design stuff, on how to save money when you're designing a home, because we're still getting people in building homes down here. And so that's some areas that just, if you're listening, that I'd like to touch on.
Yeah, we've had a couple of interesting things recently happen. One is we have people that are buying or selling homes, and they want us to do a structural inspection of that home before it sells. Because, I mean, they're making a huge investment in this property, and they want to make sure that it's something that doesn't have any significant structural issues. And we kind of check all the certificates and see the age of everything. So we give them a nice report on that. We actually were doing one over there yesterday for that, with that. And then we also have been doing, we have other engineers that maybe they've done this for a while, but they're really not value engineers. They're really not looking at how they can optimize the cost of building. And that's really crucial right now because we look at we don't cookie cut or anything. We don't eyeball anything. We run loads and numbers and calculations on every single house in the exact location where it's being installed. And that flood, can it have a foundation or not? All that, the wind, the height, everything, the geometry of that building. So we look at every single thing independently, and so we design that house as optimally as we can. So, and I know we've had to redesign several other engineers plans. One of them was like way out of wasn't even in Texas, and then this other engineer that had designed it was local, but just kind of threw a bunch of big beams and stuff in there, which worked, but we're definitely not a value engineer. So we can definitely optimize a lot of things based on, actual load calculations. And, besides that, I mean, we've been here a long time. We understand performance. We understand what the soils are like. We know where the shell layer is. Like, we know all those things. So,
the other thing is
different than getting somebody that's not local.
You've actually gone out after storms and looked at things to see how you can design it better if there's some undercut or if some siding. To see where the breakdown was. I've heard you talk about that, but we'll get into that in the coming months. We're winding down 2024, rolling into 2025.
I can't believe it. It's already October. We're already in that last quarter of the year. It's just gone by so fast.
It seems like, Burl sort of interrupted everything down here.
It really did.
And I really think we're just getting caught back up as far as doing this. And I was shooting some drone footage yesterday. I flew from the office to the beach and down by the water tower. And there's still some houses that have some tarps on them as far as some areas. And I was talking to one of the management companies, and they said, David, it's heck to get someone down here to fix it.
You gotta get on the list,
yeah, get on the list, and then it's a supply deal, and so it's a combination of things. But hopefully 2025 rolls in. We need a good July in 2025. But last weekend, we had some pretty good numbers on people down here, and so the mornings have been a little bit cooler, the evenings have been a little bit cooler. Yeah. I don't know what it's like over on the mainland, but you can definitely tell.
You can tell the change. Yeah.
And I can't wait for that first cool front where we wake up and it's like 58 degrees that morning and then warms up to 75 or 80 in the afternoon. Those are the perfect days down here. So
I love this time of year because my birthday's this month. So usually right around my birthday is when this everything starts changing and getting a little cooler. Yeah. And I feel like it's a present just for me.
So, well, we're going to keep everyone updated as we get closer in. In fact, I think by the time we do the next show, they'll have a decision in.
Yes,
and
sir.
So, or pretty close to it. Maybe we'll be able to talk about that. So, Chandra, thanks for joining us this morning. In fact, for joining us every week. And we'll keep you updated on what's going on in the TWIA saga here coming up. And if she voted for a rate increase, then it goes to the governor. When does he have to have his decision in?
He can really make the decision at any time. I would imagine he would probably make it fairly quickly because the reason that she has to do it by October 15th is because TWIA has to have enough time to make internally all the changes in order to apply the rate increase. So I imagine he would probably make it before the end of the month.
And just a note, last time it went all the way to him, he actually turned it down.
That's right.
That's something to think about too. And it is an election year, so
it is an election year, and he could do it. So I mean, we'll see what the commissioner says. I'm sure she's feeling a lot of pressure.
Yes.
From the legislators, and I hope. I hope it continues because we need to keep that pressure going. Right. But more importantly, we need some substantive change to the way TWIA is funded. And I hope that they tackle that this session.
Great. Well, we'll be back next week with another show with Chandra here on Bolivar Live. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live with Chandra with Aran and Franklin Engineering. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.